Flight takes about 200, including Americans, out of Kabul. An estimated 200 foreigners, including Americans, left Afghanistan on a commercial flight out of Kabul on Thursday with the cooperation of the Taliban, the first such large-scale departure since U.S. forces completed their frantic withdrawal over a week ago. The Qatar Airways flight to Doha marked a breakthrough in the bumpy coordination between the U.S. and Afghanistan's new rulers. A days-long standoff over charter planes at another airport has left hundreds of mostly Afghan people stranded, waiting for Taliban permission to leave. A senior U.S. official, speaking on condition of anonymity because he wasn't authorized to talk to the media, said the Taliban's foreign minister and deputy prime minister helped facilitate the flight. Americans, U.S. green card holders and other nationalities, including Germans, Hungarians and Canadians, were aboard, the official said. Qatari envoy Mutlaq bin Majid al-Qahtani said another 200 passengers will leave Afghanistan on Friday. 10 U.S. citizens and 11 green card holders made Thursday's flight, State Department spokesman Ned Price said. Americans organizing charter evacuation flights said they knew of more U.S. passport and green card holders in Mazar-i-Sharif and elsewhere awaiting flights out. The White House said before the flight that there were roughly 100 U.S. citizens left in Afghanistan. But several veterans groups have said that number is too low because many citizens never bothered to tell U.S. officials they were in the country. And they said the figure overlooks green card carrying permanent U.S. residents living in Afghanistan who want to leave.
Many thousands of Afghans remain desperate to get out, too, afraid of what Taliban rule might hold. The Taliban have repeatedly said foreigners and Afghans with proper travel documents could leave. But their assurances have been met with skepticism, and many Afghans have been unable to obtain certain paperwork. US lawmakers, veterans groups and others are pressing the Biden administration to ensure that former Afghan military interpreters and others who could be in danger of Taliban reprisals for working with the Americans are allowed to leave. And the US National Security Council spokesperson Emily Hort said that Thursday's flight was the result of careful and hard diplomacy and engagement, and that the Taliban have shown flexibility, and they have been businesslike and professional in our dealings with them in this effort. This is a positive first step, she said, adding that the US will continue trying to extract Americans and Afghan allies who want to leave. As Taliban authorities patrolled the tarmac, passengers presented their documents for inspection and dogs sniffed luggage laid out on the ground. Some veteran airport employees had returned to their jobs after fleeing during the harrowing chaos of the U.S. led airlift. Van Popelzai, 12, boarded the flight with his mother and 5 siblings. He said his family lives in Maryland. I am an Afghan, but you know I am from America and I am so excited to leave, he said. The airport was extensively damaged in the frenzied final days of the US airlift that evacuated over 100,000 people. But Qatari authorities announced that it had been repaired with the help of experts from Qatar and Turkey and was ready for the resumption of international airline flights. I can clearly say that this is a historic day in the history of Afghanistan as Kabul airport is now operational, al-Qahtani said. He added, hopefully, life is becoming normal in Afghanistan. The flight was the first to take off from the Kabul airport since American forces left the country at the end of August. The accompanying scenes of chaos, including Afghans plunging to their deaths from the sides of military aircraft on takeoff and a suicide bombing that killed 169 Afghans and 13 US service members, came to define the end of America's 2-decade war. The airport is no longer the Hamid Karzai International Airport, but simply Kabul International Airport, with the name of the country's former president removed. Several Taliban flags flew from the terminal, which was emblazoned the Islamic Emirate seeks peaceful and positive relations with the world. Hundreds of other Afghans who say they are at risk for helping the Americans have gathered for more than a week in the northern city of Mazar-i-Sharif, waiting for permission to board evacuation flights chartered by US supporters. Many are believed not to have the necessary travel documents. In Mazar-i-Sharif on Thursday, an Afghan who worked 15 years as an interpreter for the US military was moving from hotel to hotel and running out of money as he, his 8 children and his wife waited for the okay from the Taliban to leave. I'm frightened I will be left behind, said the man, whose name was withheld by the Associated Press for his safety. The interpreter said he was one of many former US employees whose special visas the United States approved in the last weeks of the American military presence in Afghanistan. But with the US embassy closed when the Taliban took Kabul on August 15, it has become impossible to get the visa stamped into his passport. He said he doesn't trust Taliban assurances that they will not take revenge against Afghans who worked for the Americans. No, never, he said. I never believe them, because they are lying. Afghanistan war veteran Matt Zellin, who founded the organization No One Left Behind to help Afghans who supported American troops, said he does not believe it is possible for applicants to the Special Immigrant Visa Program to get a visa without an embassy in Kabul. For all intents and purposes, these people's chances of escaping the Taliban end of the day we left them behind, he said. Price said the United States is looking at such steps as electronic visas to overcome the lack of an embassy in Afghanistan. The organization Wartime Allies estimates as many as 20,000 special visa applicants remain in the country, not counting those eligible under more liberal rule change made in July. Add their families to that and the total amounts to more than 80,000 people, according to the group.
Thank you for watching. Please subscribe.